Hi, good morning. I'm Megan. I'm a physical therapist and Pilates instructor. This morning we're going to be doing a 45-minute propless Pilates class. I'm going to tag this real quick. Pilates mat. Happy Saturday. I am so glad it's Saturday. It's been a long week, but a good week. And I'm ready to have a little relaxation this weekend. I'm making sure I'm straight as this thing will get. So we're going to start off with some balance work in the beginning of the class and move on to the mat and do some different variations on things. I'm going to be adding in some arm movements and leg movements that make the exercise a little bit more challenging. If you have any lower back problems, just don't bring your legs down quite as low with some of the movements, and you can just make the movements a little bit smaller or put your feet down. I'll try as best as I can to remind you of the modifications you can make. Okay, so we're going to get started in a standing position. Give me one moment here. Hopefully, I'm pretty dark, but we'll make it work. All right, so I want you to begin with your feet hip distance apart, and you're just going to begin reaching your arms out in front of you, and then reach them down towards the floor. Roll the spine forward over the legs, lengthening the crown of your head towards the floor. You're going to inhale at the bottom here, and then exhale, stack the spine back up to standing, piece by piece. Good, your arms are going to continue overhead. And then exhale as the arms lower and round the spine forward, driving in through the navel. And then inhale at the bottom. And exhale, slowly come back up to standing. Good, your head is the last thing to lift, and your hands are going to go behind your head, or to the sides of your head. So we're going to do a little bit of side bending here. I want you to lengthen through the crown of the head, and you're going to side bend up and over to your left. And then come back to center. And then inhale, exhale, side bend up and over to your right. Good, come back to center. So make sure you're not rotating with this. You want to just straight side bend up and over. Trying not to collapse through this bottom side of the waist, staying lifted there. And side bend up and over, other way. Good, and back to center. One more time each way. Over to the side. And then back to center. And up and over, still drawing back through your belly button. And then come back to center. Nice job. Go ahead and release your arms, shake it out. And now we're going to come to the back edge of the mat for some more roll downs. So I want you to inhale. You're going to reach your arms up to the ceiling. Rise up onto your tippy toes. Good. And then lower your heels, lower your arms. And you're going to round forward again over the legs. Plant your hands down to the ground. You may need to bend your knees a little bit. And I want you to take 4 steps out into a plank position. Good. So then once you're out here, you're one straight line from your head to your heels. I want you to inhale here. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale again. Good. Then I want you to soften your knees, and you're going to take 4 steps back to your feet with your hands. Trying as best as you can not to wiggle back and forth too much through the hips. And then you're going to continue back up to a standing position. Good. Finding a nice rounded spine, and then length at the top. Arms continue overhead. And then you lift up onto those toes again. Lift the heels. Good. And then lower the heels, lower the arms, and round the spine forward again. And we're going to go a little bit quicker here. 4 steps out. Inhale. Exhale. Soften the elbows a little bit. Inhale. And exhale. Good, 4 steps back to the feet. And round the spine back up. Nice work, arms continue overhead, lift up onto those toes. And lower the toes, rounding forward. And 4 steps out. Nice job. 1 inhale. And exhale, engage the glutes. Soften through the knees, 4 steps back. Try to have as little wiggling happening as possible. And rounding. Good. We're going to add on to the next one. Ooh. And lift up onto those toes. And lower back down, rounding forward again. 4 steps out. And hold here. I want you to draw your right knee in towards your chest. And you're going to drop that knee down to the mat. Lift it back up. And replace the foot. And then pull the left knee in. Tap it down. Lift it up. And replace the foot. Good. Switching again. Lower down. Lifting up. So all movements are initiated from your core for the entire class. Always have an awareness there. So we're stretching out through the neck, not blocking out the elbows here. And lift back up, replace the foot, soften the knees, and 4 steps back to your feet. Good, and continue up to standing with control. Nice job. Go ahead and roll out the shoulders a little bit. And now we're going to do some balance work. So I want you to have your hands back to the sides of the head here. And we're just going to do some marching. I want you to shift your weight into your left foot and march the right leg up to hip height. And then place it back down. So we're going to add layers here. Each layer is an option. You don't have to do all of them. Good. And again, shifting over, lifting up. Okay. Now, as you lift up your right leg, I want you to rotate towards it slightly. Good. Place that foot back down. And change sides, rotate towards the lifted knee. Still lengthening through the crown of the head here. Not collapsing through the spine. Good, so you can stick with just the first option of marching back and forth here. Finding your balance. Good, now I'm going to add in a little bit of a side bend, so I'm going to rotate and then dip my elbow towards my knee and then return and switch sides. Good, adding in that little side bend. It's like you're doing the oblique rotations on the floor, on the mat. And come back to center. It's always challenging to do balance work in the morning. You're kind of getting your bearings and your awareness through the body, so. Nice job, just one more time each way. And switch again. Good, go ahead and shake it out. Okay, so I'm going to turn to the side for the next part. I want you to bring your right leg up to hip height. Your arms are down by your sides. And I want you to just reach that leg back behind you. Your arms are going to reach overhead. And then you're going to stand up nice and tall. Draw the elbows or the arms back. So as that leg travels back, your arms reach forward. So you may need to hang onto a wall for this. It's pretty challenging. Dynamic balance work here. So you can just hold on with your inside arm and then continue moving with your leg and your outside arm. Good, lifting up. 2 more times, reaching forward and lifting up. And now I want you to stay in this hinged position here. Arms are reaching forward and you're just going to begin swimming the arms, working the upper back, lengthening through the toes, the crown of the head, your neck. Good. 2 more times. Make sure your back leg is straight. And last time. Good. Lift up tall and shake it out. All right. So we're going to do the other side. I'm going to rotate the other way. And you're going to lift your leg up to hip height here. Arms are down by your sides. You're going to lengthen the leg out behind you. Good. Reaching the arms forward, the leg back. And then lift up nice and tall. Try to inhale as you reach and lengthen. And then exhale nice and tall. Good. You're maintaining length through both sides of the waist here. Not rotating through the spine. And try as best as you can to keep your hips square to the floor, not opening up through this hip. Good. Now you're going to stay in this position. Begin swimming the arms. So we're doing a nice controlled breaststroke here. Reaching out, try to find more length through the arms, through the fingertips with each circle of the arms. 2 more times. Don't get lazy with your back leg. And last time. Good, lifting up, shake it out. And now we're going to make our way down to the mat. So find your way to the front of the mat here. And you're going to begin holding. I'm going to move a little bit closer to you so I'm not bumping into the windows here. Okay. So I want you to begin holding the backs of the thighs. You're lifting up nice and tall through the crown of the head. You're going to inhale in this position. And then as you exhale, tuck the tail under, draw back through the belly button. Try not to collapse through the upper body. You're going to inhale here. And then exhale. Come up nice and tall, stacking the spine up to your start position. And then exhale, rounding back, rolling back, press the feet heavy into the mat. And then slowly make your way back up, nice and tall. And exhale, rounding back. And then inhale. Coming up nice and tall. So you can stay with holding the backs of the thighs. The next layer is reaching your arms out forward and rounding back again. You're going to open the arms out to the sides, keep them open, and then gather yourself back up to that tall position at the start. Arms reach forward and rounding back again. Good, arms open. And then pull back through the center, push the feet down, and lift up tall. So the wider you have your arms, the more challenging, the more resistance there is on your core. So you can keep your arms at like a small little V when you open up. They don't have to be super wide. And rounding back. Open the arms, and now I want you to keep the arms open. You're going to rotate over to that right knee. And then inhale through center. And exhale, rotate to the left. And come back to center. So you're rotating from the belly button up. You're not just rotating the arms side to side. That makes it very easy. Try to keep your knees stacked over top of your ankles. And now I want you to rotate. You're going to stay rotated over to your right. And now float the feet up. And inhale, tap them down. And exhale, draw back through the center, float the feet. Ooh, I'm shaking. And exhale, float the feet. And inhale, tap. And exhale, float. And inhale, tap. Good, come back through center. And now you're going to rotate left. You can even place a hand down onto the ground if you need a little bit more support. Just try not to lose your connection with your center. And one more time, floating the feet, lower them down, reach both arms forward, and you're going to continue slowly with control the whole way down onto the mat. Then your arms are going to reach overhead and walk your feet in closer to your bottom here. And you're going to press into your feet and roll the spine up. As you roll the spine up, the arms are going to lower down by your sides. So we're articulating the spine, laying piece by piece back down. As you do that, your arms are starting to travel overhead. Good, trying not to flare through the front of the ribs. And then press into the feet, roll the spine up. Arms are beginning to lower back down. And then slowly lay the spine back down. Arms are reaching overhead. And rolling back up. So we're just trying to mobilize the spine a little bit here, grounding our feet, still stretching out through the neck, not scrunching in the chin towards the chest or in towards the throat. And one more time each way. Good, trying to find length out the fronts of the knees, the fronts of the thighs. So your knees are reaching over your toes. Trying to find length through the sides of the body. Very nice work. Okay, I want you to bring your hands behind your head. And your elbows are in your peripheral vision here. You're going to float your head and shoulders up off the mat here. So you're in this little curl up. And I want you to march your right knee up and bring it back down. And left knee marches and bring it back down. So try to stay as steady as you can through the pelvis. You're not rocking side to side here. You're staying wide and flat through the front of the hips. Using your breath to float up the knee and bring it back down. And exhale, float and bring it back down. Good. Now I want you to keep that right leg lifted. You're going to reach your right arm overhead and your left arm down by your hip, and you're just going to swim the arms, switch the arms back and forth. So you're moving the arms with resistance through something that's heavier than air. Good, do 2 more times. And 1 more time each way. Good, hold the back of the head again, and you're going to lower the foot, lower the head. Give yourself a quick break, and then you're going to come back up to that same position. Your left arm's going to reach down by your hip, your right arm by your ear, and then begin switching the arms back and forth. Not rotating through the upper body. Try to release any tension that you might be creating through the neck here. And switch. Switch. Good, 2 more times. And then hands return behind the head and lower the foot, lower the head. Nice work. Okay, now I want you to bring your arms. They're going to be out into a T position here. If you want a little bit more support, they could be down by your, actually let's come down by your sides. You're going to march one leg at a time up into a tabletop position. Inhale, rock the knees over to your right, so you're on the right hip a little bit more than the left. And then exhale, bring the knees through center. Inhale, rotate slightly over to your left. And then exhale, drag the knees through center. So if you have your feet a little bit higher than your knees, it takes the pressure off of your hip flexors a little bit more than if you're in a straight tabletop position. Inhale to rotate. And then exhale. So you're cinching through the waist, drawing back through the navel to bring the knees through center. And now I want you to inhale. You're going to stay rotated over to your right. Release your left arm. It's going to go overhead. And then it's going to return back towards your hip. And reach it overhead. And then back down. Good. So as you reach that arm overhead, try to stay connected in the front of the body. You're not flaring through the ribs. This is increasing the work and the tension on your left obliques. Now you can stay with this, or you can add on a little bit of a dip with the feet as the arm travels overhead, and then everything comes back. Good. And inhale, exhale, close it in. As the knees lower, make sure you're not creating tension in through the neck. If your neck feels like it's pulling away and your chin is jutting up towards the ceiling, you're probably going a little bit too low with the legs. And just one more time. And exhale, center. Good. Bring the knees through center. And now you're going to rotate onto that left hip. Both shoulders are staying plugged back into the mat. You're going to travel the right arm overhead. Inhale. And exhale down. And inhale. And exhale down. Trying not to push the ribs forward here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale again. And exhale. So we're only having a slight rotation with those legs. Now dip the legs away as the arm travels overhead. And then exhale, close it in. Inhale, open. And exhale, close it in. And inhale to open. And exhale, close. Good, 2 more times. Make sure you're not taking it into the lower back. Keep the motion pretty small here. And last time, inhale. And exhale, close it in. Good. Rotate the knees through center and give yourself a little hug. Really nice work. Go ahead and lay one leg at a time, flat down onto the mat. You're going to lift your arms up to the ceiling and curl up your head and shoulders, reaching your fingers down towards your feet. Begin pumping the arms nice and strong. So I want you to inhale for a count of 5. And exhale for a count of 5. Good, try not to give me floppy arms here. You want to have nice straight arms, nice strong pumps with the arms. Good, and now if you're feeling strong here, you can lift up one leg as you inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then lower it down, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, switch legs, and lower back down. And switch again. Good, make sure your shoulders are set down the back. You're not rounding through the collarbones. And just one more time each way. And last time with that left side. And bring back down. Good, lower the head and shoulders, reach the arms up. And now begin circling the arms out to the sides. You're going to curl up your head and shoulders and begin rolling up. You can use the backs of the thighs if you need a little bit of support. And now I want you to reach up and over the legs, drawing back through the belly button as the fingertips reach forward. Set the shoulders down the back. Begin curling the pelvis under yourself to lay the spine back down. Good, arms begin circling overhead, out to the sides, really reaching long through the fingertips. And bring yourself back up. Try not to use momentum. And reaching up and over the legs. Good. I'm getting stuck to my mat. And arms continue overhead. And out to the sides. Try not to push forward through the ribs as you reach your arms overhead there. And reaching up and over the legs. Good. Find a nice tall spine here. And I want you to open your legs out to the width of the mat. You're going to flex through the feet. So if you can't achieve a tall spine here, soften the knees a little bit. Otherwise, find length here. I don't want you sitting back off of your sitting bones and slump back here. So just be smart about your choice here. Your arms are reaching out to the sides of the room. I want you to inhale. You're going to rotate over to your right. Reach your pinky finger for your pinky toe here. And then lift up nice and tall over that leg and rotate center. So inhale to rotate. Exhale, reaching your fingertips away from each other as you dive over that leg. And stack the spine up nice and tall. Rotate forward. So inhale to rotate. Exhale to reach. And stack your spine up over that leg. And rotate forward. So as you rotate, make sure one foot isn't sliding past the other. Both hips are staying planted down into the mat. You're not lifting it up as you dive over the leg. Now you're going to rotate and now reach over this right leg. I want you to extend up on the diagonal, plant that back hand, and you're going to push into that hand to lift your hips up into a side plank. Good. And then you're going to lower back to that same position, lifting up the back hand and rotate forward. Okay, I traveled a little bit there. So you're going to rotate to the left, reach forward over that leg, and now lift up. You're going to plant that back hand and come up into a side plank. So you're turning onto the sides of your feet, squeezing your glutes once you're in this position, and then lower the hips back down, still rotated over that leg. Good. We're gonna try that one more time each way. Reaching over the leg, extend up on that diagonal, and then lifting up to a side plank. Good, rotate the hips, lower down, lift up. A lot of steps to talk you through, but once you get the motion down, it kind of clicks into the body and it makes sense. Plant that back hand and lift the hips up so you're one straight line to your head to your feet. And rotate the hips to lower down. You're reaching up on that rotated position and face forward. Good. Go ahead and close the legs in closer to your body and scoot yourself forward on the mat. Begin hovering the feet here. And I want you to tap the feet down onto the mat and then lift the feet to a hover. And you're tipping back off of those sitting bones so that you're connected to your core. So it's helping you to maintain your balance and not roll off. So tap the feet down. And then bring yourself to a little bit of a hover here. And tapping down again. And now this time, you're going to roll back onto the shoulders, inhaling. And exhale, come up. Find that balance. Try not to tap the feet down now. And inhale, roll back. And exhale, come up. Try to keep the same distance between your thighs and your chest the whole time. Try not to pull away and come in. It helps you to connect with your core a little bit more. Just one more time, inhale. And exhale, come up, good. Hold on to your right knee with your left hand and your right ankle with your right hand. Stretch the left leg out and you're going to control yourself the whole way down onto the mat here. Good, stay lifted with the upper body. And you're going to begin switching your legs back and forth and switch and hold. So as you straighten out your opposing leg, make sure you find that full lengthened position. You're engaging the quad, reaching through the toes, reaching out the front of the hip. Good, if you need to stay lower with the upper body, if your neck is getting tired, you can always do this option. It still can really challenge your core, adding that resistance of that long lever. Good, we're going to stay with that right knee pulled in. I want you to reach your left arm overhead and your right arm overhead. Your left arm is going to hold back on and your right arm is going to hold back on. So reach left and right and left and right. Good. So this really increases the resistance on your core. Make sure the lower back isn't pulling away from the mat. You can lift the leg up higher if you need to. Or you could just hold this position and not add in the arms. And one more time. Good, and now lower everything through center. Give your head a little rest. Hug both knees in. Good, and curl yourself back up. Now you're holding onto that left knee, and now your right arm's going to reach overhead. The left arm reaches, and then right arm holds, and left arm, good. And place it back on. Good. It's okay to have a little space behind your lower back, but really try not to have it excessively pulling away from the mat. You want to have a natural curve there. And just one more time. Place it back on. Good, hug those knees in. And give yourself a rest. Good, you can kind of shake your head side to side. Releasing any tension that you might have created here. Now I want you to reach both legs up towards the ceiling here. And you're going to reach your hands up too. As you curl up your head and shoulders, you're going to lower your right leg down. And then lift everything back up to the start. So curling up, reaching long through the leg. And then everything lowers down. And exhale, curling up. And inhale, lower. And exhale, curling up. And inhale, lower. Nice work. Just one more time each way. Lengthening through both legs, the one that's up towards the ceiling, the one that's stretching out. Try to find a little bit more length with each repetition. Now I want you to hold on here. You're going to hold on to your lifted leg and just begin rocking a little bit. And see if you can rock yourself up into a balanced position. Good. So now we're going to do a few rocking here. You're going to roll into the shoulders again. And then come back up to that balanced position. Good. And rolling back. And find your balance. And one more time. Good. Find your balance. See if you can switch the legs at the top. Getting a little bit traveled. Okay. And now rock yourself back. And come back up. Good. So you're trying to keep the same shape for the whole movement here. Not kicking that bottom leg up too much. And one more time. Bumping into the couch here. Okay, set the shoulders down the back. That's a very challenging exercise, so hug those knees in for a moment. And you can find a butterfly stretch. Opening the knees out to the sides of the room and reaching over the feet. Good. Find a tall spine and you're going to make your way onto your left side facing me. So lay yourself down onto your arm here. And your bottom leg is going to be straight and a little bit ahead of you on the mat. And your top leg is going to be bent. Your foot is resting on your bottom knee and the knee is resting down onto the mat. So stay lifted through that bottom side of the waist. You're pulling in through your core and using your top arm for balance here. Just begin rotating that top knee open and close it. Good. Finding a nice rotation here. Relaxing your top shoulder down the back. And rotate and close it in. And now stay rotated open. You're going to lift that whole piece up and back down. So you're working and lifting from that bottom inner thigh to make the motion happen. As best as you can, keep your hips stacked on top of each other. Try not to roll back onto that bottom hip. Your top obliques are working to find that lift. And now stay hovered here. You're going to reach your top arm up overhead. Your palm is facing me. And then down to your hip. And reach it overhead. And then down to the hip. Good, trying to steady yourself, not rocking off and losing balance is a really big challenge here. Doing great. One more time each way. Good, lower everything down. Bend both knees, so your knees are stacked, your hips are stacked, and you're going to prop up onto that bottom elbow. Your top arm is going to reach up to the ceiling, and you're going to lift your hips up and open the top knee at the same time, and then lower back down. And exhale to open. And inhale to lower, good. Exhale to open. Inhale to lower. 2 more times. You're drawing back through your center, not pushing your ribs forward to me. And now stay lifted. Keep that top knee rotated open. You're going to thread your arm underneath of you without closing the knees. And then open up. Dive the belly button back towards the spine. And open up. Make sure you find that square position forward each time you complete the movement. And then last time, underneath. And now hold here. See if you can extend that top leg. And you're going to lower that top leg down. Circle your arm overhead. And then lift the leg up. Your arm and your leg connect. I know it's a lot of steps. So you're rotating your upper body towards the mat. And then back to face forward. Good, just do 3 more here. You're pulling back through your center. And 2, reaching out through the arm and the foot. And last time, bend both knees and gently lower yourself down. Good, lift yourself up into a Z-sit position here. And just kind of settle down that front hip that did a lot of the stabilizing work here. I want you to reach your arms out to the sides. You're going to side bend up and over towards the feet. Good. More up than over. And then come back and go the other way. Very nice work. And return, and just 1 more time each way. Pulling back through your center. And last time. Good. Okay, go ahead and swing your legs around to the other side. So now you're laying on your left side. So stretch out that bottom arm. Find your lift of the bottom side of your waist. Your bottom leg is straight, your top leg is bent, and your foot is resting on your knee. You're using your top hand gently for balance. And you're going to begin rotating your knee up towards the ceiling and then back down. Good, so if you have any hip impingement issues, you may want to reduce that internal rotation. That's the motion of the knee going down towards the mat. Good, so we're not looking for a big motion, we're looking for a controlled motion. As you open the knee, you want to continue keeping the hips stacked on top of each other. Very nice work. 2 more times. We're rotating open and back down. And last time. Now keep the same shape. You're going to lift everything up and lower back down. Good. And lift it up and lower. So you're pulling back through the center. That initiates the movement. So does your breath. Try to use your exhale to lift it up. Good. 2 more times. And last time. And now hold this position. Reach your top arm up. And you're going to circle that arm overhead. Your palm is facing me. And then bring it down to your hip. Still reaching out through the toes of the bottom foot. Pulling back through the center. Not allowing that top shoulder to shrug up into your ear. Keeping it relaxed down the back. Good. Oh boy. And 1 more time each way. Good. And then lower the legs down. You're going to bend the knees forward and prop yourself up onto that bottom elbow. So you're going to use this arm. Make sure you're not sinking into your shoulder, into this bottom side of the waist. It's staying lifted. As you lift the hips, you open the knee. And then everything lowers together. And exhale and lift. Inhale, lower. If your neck's getting tired, you can look down at that bottom arm. It helps to relax and release any tension. And lower down. 2 more times. And last time. Now you're going to stay with that knee rotated open. Thread your arm underneath. Keep the knee externally rotated and open up to the side. And exhale to rotate. Inhale to open. Good. 3 more. Still lifting up through that bottom side of the waist, not sinking into your bottom shoulder. And last time. Nice work. Now extend that leg out straight. Reach your hand to your leg. And now you're going to lower the leg. Rotate that upper body towards the mat, reaching your arm overhead. And then circle it around to that starting position. Your leg is lifted straight out from hip height. And rotate lower. And rotate lift. Rotate to lower. And lift back up. Good, 2 more times. And last time. Lift it back up. Good, close the knees, gently lower yourself down and lift yourself up into that Z-sit position. So your front shin is in line with the mat. Your back leg is behind you. As best as you can, try to settle both hips down. You can't quite do that. A lot of challenge with this position. So reach your arms out to the sides here. And you're lifting up tall through the crown of the head, or reaching your arm up towards the ceiling, finding length. And a slight little side bend over. Good. And lift up through center. And lift up. Reaching your fingertips towards the ceiling. Finding a really slight side bend. And come back to center. And side bend up and over. Good. And just one more time. Towards the feet, pulling back through your belly. Very nice work. Okay, so we're going to come down onto our elbows and up onto the knees. Okay, so your arms are slightly out in front of you here, and your arms are parallel to each other. I want you to lift your right leg up to hip height, so your knee is bent and your heel is pulled slightly towards your bottom. You're going to cross your knee over your bottom knee and then lift it back up. Cross the knee over and lift it up. Good. Very nice work. I'm going to do 2 more times like this. And now on the next one, you're going to extend the leg out straight as you lift it up. Extend and lengthen. Good. So cross the knee behind and then extend and lengthen through the toes. So you're lifting from that smile line underneath of your glutes. You're staying supported through your core, not sinking into the lower back here. Very nice work. And now on the next one, you're going to keep that leg extended. Plant your palms down to the mat. Shift your weight over your hands a little bit more. And you're going to press into your hands to lift up onto the hands. And then lower back down. So the challenge here is to keep your weight shifted forward over your hands. It can be a very easy exercise if you shift over that back knee and lower down. Make sure you're lifting and lowering at the same time. You're not snaking through the spine to bring yourself up. You're staying one piece from your head to your foot and lower down. And just one more time. Pressing up and lowering down. Replace your knee. Shake it out a little bit. That's a challenging exercise. Okay, so reset the spine. Forearms are parallel to each other, and you're going to lift your left leg up to hip height. Knee is bent. So you're going to cross your left knee over the right and lift it up to the start. Try not to open your hips out. Open to the left. Keep them square to the mat. Make sure you're breathing. Try to exhale on the exertion that's lifting the leg. Now on the next one, you're going to extend that leg out straight as you lift it. And then tap the knees together. Extend the leg, reaching through the toes. Don't allow the ribs to push forward towards the mat. Try not to drop your head down towards the mat. That is an easy thing to do because it's hard work. You're trying to offer up energy to other places. And now keep your leg extended. Plant your hands down to the mat. Shift your weight forward and press into the arms to lift yourself up. And lower back down. And press to lift. And lower back down. Good, 3 more times. Really shift that weight forward over the hands. I am shaking like a leaf. And lower down. And 1 more time. And lower back down. Replace your foot down onto the mat. And you're going to come up onto your hands, tuck your toes under, and lift yourself up into a downward dog position. Pressing through the hands, reaching down through the heels. And just begin pedaling out the feet here. You're staying engaged through your center. Lengthening through the backs of the legs here. Feels really nice. Good. Plant both heels down as best as you can. Reach your sitting bones up to the ceiling. And walk your hands back to your feet. Good. Hold on to your elbows and just kind of let yourself drape over your legs. Shake your head no. Nod your head yes. And release your hold on your arms. Bring your spine up to a standing position. With control, nice and slowly, nice and easy. Good, lifting up through the crown of the head. I want you to inhale. Palms are facing each other. And exhale, flip your palms away from each other. Press that air out away from you. And then inhale 1 more time. Gather up that air. And then flip the palms away. Exhale, grow taller through the crown of the head. Good, awesome work. 45 minutes. Thank you for joining me. I hope you feel really good. Got a nice rhythm going. You felt nice and deep and connected to your body. If you have any questions about anything, please send me a message. Ask me any questions that you have. I offer up private virtual sessions, and I give these classes once a week for general population and then once a week for scoliosis specific population. So have a wonderful Saturday. Love you guys. Thank you for joining live each week. All right, bye.